It's NTT IndyCar race weekend, and you know what that means. When they race, we race first. It is time for some top split action in the 2024 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Gatso, and welcome to round 11 of the 2024 championship with coverage sponsored by 4D Racewear. As we come to you today from Iowa Speedway. As always, joining me in the booth is Ryan Walker, and also joining me on special assignment because we are at his strength of track here, an oval. It is Kyle Clinsworth. Fellas, thanks for being here as we are watching qualifications pretty much wrap up here very, very shortly. Today's split is a 41-70. Starting with you, Clindy. Thought about today's event?
Yeah, it's going to depend on the timing of the yellows and if there are any. You cannot afford to pit under green at Iowa, and if you do, you're looking to make this a two-stop race. In order to make it 83 laps twice and 84 laps another time to make the 250-lap advertised distance here, you will need to save fuel. Some of the better setups allow you to do that just by naturally having less drag on the car. I raced it on Wednesday and finished 6 laps behind the race winner, but was able to make it a two-stop race.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the haves and the have-nots. If you have a setup, you're going to be flying and dealing with the lappers, and if you've got no setup and you're relying on iRacings, you will be the traffic. So hopefully everyone can navigate that cleanly and we have a green race, but maybe not. We'll see. What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, I echo those thoughts as well. But yeah, especially on an oval race, it's one of those things. As long as you can basically stay on the lead lap, and try and keep in touch of the people in front of you, or pretty much the whole field, and until maybe the last half of the race, then you're in with a chance. But if especially around this track, pitting under green is definitely going to bite you, and if you do that, you're pretty much just at a disadvantage, and you're pretty much catching on from then on.
All right, we are getting ready to go racing, and a bit of a surprise for the pole position as we'll get today's starting lineup in here. Hide all these extra graphics. And we'll get in here for today's starting lineup from Iowa. Big field. We're going to have, what was the field? 24?
24 drivers.
Yeah, so you're going to be, there's actually going to be more in the real IndyCar race when that comes on later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But today, that's going to still be a lot of traffic here on this track. So let's take a look at today's starting grid. Brought to you by 4D. Alan Berteau with the surprise pole. Well, maybe not for Alan, but this is the first time we've seen him on the pole. And he squeaks out a pole position over King Robert. Robert with a 184.2 versus Berteau's 184.4. Got him by 0.2 of a mile per hour. That's pretty significant there. Andreas Ike, I want to be like Ike, 184.1. Alex VDS, we haven't seen him a while in the top split race there. Power slide entry at 183.8. Lodato, 182.2. Burrell, the general, 182.2. Murph back there in row 4, 182 flat. Roseboro with the geodesic entry, also working with IAR, I believe, 181.2. Big Craig Forsyth in the 4D car, 181.1. And Hayota Matsuda back there in 5th row in P10 and a 181 flat. And remember, we got 2 laps here of pacing before we go green. Craig and the Australian Torpedo Burton Harris in row 6. Drake and Margiotto in row 7. McCandless and Petschauer. Yes, that is our own Justin Petschauer. He is in another player's car, so there's going to be 2 of them out there, but there is Justin. He is in row 8 on the outside. Then we have Pointigo. I hope I'm saying that. Pointigo or Pointigay. Hutchinson in row 9. Hubrex and Edwards in row 10. Van Gel and Ty Quilla in the rears here in row 11 and row 12. Jesper Orman attempting to do the worst from first challenge, and Tom Dreiling on the outside of row 12. That is your 24-car field. These drivers will be encountering traffic rather quickly.
If Wednesday's night race is anything to go off of, the leaders should be anywhere between 0.3 to half a second faster than the field behind them, which means they'll be catching the lappers within 34 to 40 laps, which is halfway through the fuel run.
If you're enjoying the action so far, do us a solid. Please subscribe to ERN. Make sure to like, share, subscribe the video, hit the thumbs up, and ring the bell so you miss out on future iRacing broadcasts here and on ERN. And we are green here. Great jump by Bertu. A little bit of wheel spin. It's going to cost him some momentum going into one. Here comes Robert Malechka up high. Looks like he's going to have a run. He's not the bottom is still going to be fast. We're going to have a great run off the top. Going to bring it within a half a car length down the backstretch.
Vandesant mounting a charge here as well. If they want to get by Bertrand, they're going to do it now. I think Malechka's going to look to the high side here, going into one.
Yeah, he thought about trying to go around the outside, but he decided against it, and I think it's a bit early for trying those sort of moves. And that's a question as well, with regards to the high side. Do you think some drivers, as the race goes on, and they start finding more grip, do you think some drivers will maybe try making moves on the outside?
I think you have to. I think you have to. I mean, Justin, your thoughts on that, Clindy? As I don't think the low side, when these tires wear out, is the way to pull off a pass.
Well, it does if you've saved your tires, but you already see Forsyth and Murphy moving forward on the high side. I think it's critically important that you dispose of Bertrand here early, so that way you can take the low side unmolested for your tires. So if I were Vandesant or Ike, I would be trying to see if I could push time on the high side here just to leapfrog them to conserve for the rest of this run. However, there's also the fuel aspect. If you have a draggier set, you might want to be in the slipstream of the car in front of you to hit your number to make that 84 lap run. 83 laps is easier, but we already ran 2 laps of caution here to start this race, so this will probably be an 83 lap run for most of the 2-stop strategy drivers.
All right. Talon Drake underneath Hayato Matsuda slides up in front of him with the Brazilian slide. He is clear. Now we're watching our broadcast partner, Justin Petschauer, taking a look under the Japanese driver. Battle back here between Hubrix and Orman. Also right in front of them, Ty Quill on the high side over Logan Edwards.
Yeah, Ty and I ran the race on Wednesday together. He learned a lot, and he actually has a set. So I'm going to be looking to learn from him future as his teammate. But I would watch for the IAR car of Murphy and Orman to work their way forward. They had a lot of long run pace. I think it would do well for anyone behind them with similar driving technique to fall right in line and kind of follow the Pied Pipers, if you will. They're very good at tire saving.
Car is getting very close now again to that turn 4 wall on exit. Back up front, Petro has worked his way to a 0.3 of a second lead over King Robert and Alex VDS. And they're starting a little bit of a breakaway from Andreas Ike. Andreas Ike's about a half second behind Alex. And you see there, and he is joined by Kevin Burrell in the red IAR car. Believe there are 4 IAR cars here in the split today. We should have Burrell, Murphy, Rashad Craig, and Orman all in for that super team.
Yeah, what I like about what Burrell's doing here is that he had clean air on both halves of his wing for different parts of the corner there while setting up Ike. You see here on entry, he sets his right wing offset from the car in front of him, and then on exit, he dips low for his left wing. I think he's looking to make a move here.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a question about that as well? Is it worth taking a wider entry and maybe kind of taking a tighter exit to try and get a run? As the rail tries to make a move
inside. Yeah, there he is. Not quite enough momentum down there to make that work, though.
Yeah, if you want to pass someone on the bottom, you've got to get them on exit. And if they pinch you at all, your momentum will be stifled. So what I like to do is run high and then cross over low and then try to pass them on entry of the next corner. Or you can try to pass them high, which just lets you kind of put your foot to the floor and say, I don't care about the tire deg. I'm going to lose 3/10 at the end of this run, and I'm going to pass you right now. Everyone here seems to be kind of disciplined in avoiding the higher degradation strategy.
We were just watching a battle between Talon Drake and JBH there for 12th, and that is kind of stabilized at the moment. Another close battle we're paying attention to. Brandon Rosenborough in the geodesic entry in the 9th, right there with Craig Forsyth in the sandwich of kind of an IAR geodesic association, as we learned last week. As Murphy's in 7th, Forsyth in 8th. Forsyth's looking on the high side in turn 4, trying to get that run, and not going to happen on corner exit.
Yeah, I'm just watching Burrell at the moment, and he cannot get by Ike, because it looks like he might have a run in the exit of coming across the start-finish line, but again, he's just not close enough. So, yeah, I wonder if they trying to take a wide run or use a high line on entry, and then basically trying to get a run in the exit is maybe just compromising his exit possibly.
Jesper Orman up to 14th. Sorry about that, guys, but he is the big mover, up 9 spots already. He makes it around Matsuda coming off of turn 2, and he has worked his way up to 14th now, and he is behind now Yaro Magato. I hope I'm saying that right, Maragato. If I'm saying that wrong, please let us know in the Discord. We'll make sure we'll get that straightened out. I am the butcher of names, aren't I not, Clint? Oh, and Yaro in the wall, and that's going to give Jesper a run, and he gives Jesper another position, and Matsuda the same.
Yeah, I believe it would be Maragato.
Okay.
Yeah, Maragato. It is a hornet's nest back here. They're all running different lines, trying to keep that clean air on the wings and trying to save the tires. Up front, they're a little more orderly. I would expect a little more deviation. I think Petros just starting to fall off a hair. I think Malechka's happy to stalk him and pace him at this point in time. But if he gets much slower, I'd expect Malechka and Van de Sant to dispose of him very quickly. He's done a really good job leading from the start here. He's held the bottom line, as he should. He's keeping his tires clean and cool. And hopefully, he's saving enough fuel to make the two-stop work. Because if this goes green, like it looks like it might, it will be the preferred strategy.
Alan Ruteau, among some of the first laps he's led here on our Top Split broadcast. From France, regular participant in the IndyCar in an IndyCar community. We'll see him in fixed and open. We're speaking of those different divisions. The first race of the Pro Series did not kick off this week. There's been for about a week, actually going to our race last week in Mid-Ohio, there have been DDoS attacks on iRacing. And they have been impacting services throughout the weekend. And one of those is the Thursday night's Road to Pro Series for NASCAR and the IndyCar Pro Series qualifiers. Big night on iRacing normally on Thursday night for both those series. And it would have been the opener for the Indy Pro Series. And they were unable to kick that off. So I'm not sure how they're going to reschedule that or not. But next up, I believe, is Indianapolis, or is it Long Beach? I think it's Long Beach.
Long Beach was supposed to be Thursday.
Oh, yes. Thursday, so it's Indianapolis, I think, now.
Yeah, Tequila just had some netcode incident with, let me see here, Wayne Hutchinson, who went through the infield grass. Gathers it up, no caution, no yellow, no damage to either car.
Hutchinson back underway, and now he is there's Van de Sant taking a look on the inside of Robert and gets the pass on RM3, move Van de Sant up to second, King Robert back to third. Jesper Orman getting around JBH. The Australian torpedo there. He moves around him. Move Yorman up now to 12th, up to 11th, and he is about ready to join the rest of his IAR teammates in the top 10. And now he's looking at Talon Drake, who had a very high exit off of 4. Let's ride around with Jesper.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic start by Jesper. He started in 23rd, or pretty much at the back of the field, and then he's up into 12th place already. So he's not wasting any time. So I think I wonder if Jesper's maybe just going on a bit of a sprint strategy for this first stint, and then basically trying to get track position before the pit stops. As
Looking low.
Inside the break.
I was asking Jesper earlier if he was going to be in this race, and we were looking for a third in the broadcast booth until Clindy stepped up for pinch hitting duty, and he's getting a good run off of 2 now. Looking the inside going into 3. And he might pull this one off. Nope. High side is the faster side right now. It's going to be that way for much of the race. And Jesper has to recollect himself and try to run that down, although Drake gets sideways coming off of 2. We saw the back end kick out. He had to lift a little bit. That's going to open the bottom again down for Orman. JBH going to be right behind him, might follow him through.
Jesper did a really good job of finding clean air for his wing there. Built a run off of 2, and he's going to have the position going here into 3. Let's see if he can make it stick.
I think he's clear here. Once he slides up, position belongs to Orman. Move him up 12 spots now to P11. So I was getting ready to ask him if he was going to be able to possibly join us in the booth, because he joined us in the booth earlier this year for the IIS race at Fontana. And he said, well, I'm not sure. It's either I'm going to race or I'm going to spend time with my girlfriend. Well, I guess who won that race? But now he is looking at stalking now an associated teammate who is battling another IAR car, who's looking on the low side of Craig Forsyth. That is Rashad Craig. We're gonna this battle right here is all gonna pack up here in a minute. Yesterday's gonna make it a 4-car battle in about a lap or 2. Breaking away from that battle is Murph. He's in 7th. We're at lap 37 of 250. We're not even quite halfway through the first stint yet. What do these tires feel like at this point, Clindy?
Oatmeal. They start out, they feel like an orange, like, rough and textured and really grippy, and like if you try to roll across something, it'll drag a little. Now it just feels like sludge. Every single corner, you've got to let up, you've got to dab the brake, you've got to downshift maybe into 3rd gear, which is unheard of at most ovals, just to get the car to rotate when you try to light up the rear tires. The tires are hot, they're tired, they're broken. They want to be changed right now. If there is a yellow, every single driver would pit, except for maybe those who have gone down a lap early to get the wave around. Dwayne Hutchinson at this point. But everyone else would be opting for 4 fresh tires.
Sorry to interrupt. Rashad Craig just made a move on the outside to retake that position from Forsyth. That was a bit brave at this stage of the race.
Craig on Craig violenced.
Yeah. It's fratricide, but it's Craig's. And that's 8th and 9th right there. They're side by side. Here's Craig with Orman.
Yeah, Craig kissed the safer barrier on the front stretch there. It just reaches out and sucks your car in. You lose so much time.
Yeah, and you're talking about the tyres being this is pretty much the stage of the stint where the tyres start to go off, especially around a track such as this, where the tyres take such a punishment. Is there anything that you can do to try and help with that? Maybe adjusting weight jacker or anti-roll bars?
In my opinion, a weight jacker only makes your tire wear worse. Typically, the default setup in most traditional setups will be placed to where 0 weight jacker is optimal for the camber setting of your right rear. Anything additional up will wear your right rear intensely, and down will wear your right front intensely. You can do some tricks to manipulate it a little bit, but it's not going to save you. Typically, it hurts you. Van de Sant has closed on Boutreau.
Yeah, we just see that right there. Yeah, right in the middle of traffic. They have in front of them Pierre Pontigue. I hope I'm saying that right.
And here comes King Robert looking outside of Van de Sant.
Yeah, it looks like Van de Sant just got held up in traffic slightly, and Robert makes a move on the outside to regain 2nd place.
Patience. Malechka did not panic when he started second, did not panic when he got past for second. He goes 3-1 looking for the lead.
Oh, that was I had to.
Yarrow had nowhere to go.
And Betrot gave Malechka a break. He could have taken all of Malechka's clean air there in 3 and 4, but he left him the absolute bottom. If he had given Malechka the wash, Van de Sant would have made a move there as well, and then they would have been too wide for second.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where you're catching up to traffic, and it's pretty much the same as real life IndyCar racing, I believe, where you don't have to get out of the way for the leaders. You are allowed to try and stay on the lead lap if you can, but yeah, I think it's one of those situations where you can't really afford to get flustered if you're one of these leading cars. You've just got to kind of just keep your cool and just not take it nice and easy, but not start getting frustrated.
For Robert to make a move here with the lapper. This could get hairy. Navigated cleanly. Well done by Betrot.
Oh, I was going to send it through.
Malechka makes a charge.
Yeah, Malechka saw the opportunity and he got the run and they took the lead, and Betrot's trying to take a wee bit of a sneaky look. But yeah, that was a good opportunistic move by Robert Malechka.
Innocent almost had contact with Rob Wiebertsky, I'm going to go with.
And 20th? Hubricks. Yeah, that's how he, we had, we couldn't really say it, and he actually hit us up and said, this is how you say it. And I'm like, good. And he is is that a Lego Space logo on this? And there's a Lego Space logo on the side. So if anyone's seen the Lego movie with Benny the astronaut, that's from the Lego Space sets from the 80s. That's kind of what he's got on the side of his car there. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Malechka's starting to pull away at the front already, so he's not wasting any time. So I wonder if he's just trying to go as quick as possible, and in case there is a caution, and it means if he decides to pit under caution, he has that position into the pits.
I think if you're looking for a new leader for the rest of this race under green, it's not going to happen. Malechka's setup and his driving style are very clean and very smooth. Betrot was very quick in qualifying and did well enough for the first 5/8 of that run, but I think Malechka is going to set sail and not look back.
And our good pal Justin just went down a lap, so he is down now. Ty Quilla next on the to-be lapped list. Unfortunately, your teammate fast with the setup, but I don't think he was probably. I don't think a lot of drivers, to be honest with you, were expecting this much green flag time to start this race off with.
Tell you what, Rob, if Ty finishes around 4 to 5 laps down, I think he will be very pleased. Wednesday night, I finished 6 down, he finished 7 down. So anything better than that, and we'll be celebrating.
Oh, but let's go. Oh.
Yeah, Malechka's looking underneath. Ty's racing for position with Edwards. And, oh, boy. All right, so Ty, I think Ty just let him go.
He did. Look at Malechka. He's just slicing through all of these cars as if they're not there.
Yeah, just...
What control. What mastery.
I was about to say, this is one of those situations where you can't be like...
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I just saw that as well.
Ty Quilla, Logan Edwards, Tom Dreiling, all in that battle right there.
And this is where Betrot's going to lose touch with Malechka, and it's not even be close. Malechka got through them in one corner. It's going to take Betrot laps.
Craig Forsyth has fallen down to 14th now as these tires continue to go off. He's being hounded by Simon Vangel. In front of him is McCandless.
Yeah, tale of two cities between Vangel and Forsyth. Vangel started 21st up to 15th. Forsyth started 9th back to 14th.
Yeah, they're going in opposite
Long
directions.
run versus short run.
Yeah, Vangel up 7 spots. Craig down 6. And now they have Malechka coming into this battle now. So Craig is now down a lap.
All right, the first of the 3-stop cars have started to pit. Talon Drake has committed to a 3-stop strategy. So we're going to start having cars on new tires on this conveyor belt of cars at Iowa. You're going to have fights all over the track.
And let's watch his first scheduled stop as he comes into his stall up on the jacks. 4 new Firestones and a full tank of fuel. These are 100% length races, no tire limits, no fuel capacity limits. And he's down and away. Very slippery here on the apron. Needs to bring it up very carefully. Get to that cone. Now he can merge. Comes out behind Vangel. Vangel coming in. Andreas Ike on pit road. Ike down the 12th now. Vangel has that, I think that is a NASCAR livery on an IndyCar. Shame on you, man.
It's a Days of Thunder. It's a fictitious NASCAR livery.
I know, but still. If he needs an IndyCar livery, I'm sure we can get him one. I'm sure we can get him one. And there you see Hubrecht's coming to pit road. Here comes Robert Malechka still making time on the racetrack. 68 laps into his stint.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Rob comes in before lap 83. Unless there's a yellow. If there's a yellow, all bets are off. I think of the cars on the 3-stop strategy, Ike will have the most pace. I want to see how his aggressiveness on getting new rubber pans out versus saving a stop. Getting the tires as soon as you can, as soon as it makes sense to divide the race length by 3 around lap 63, 65, can get you 2 to 3 tenths a lap on average. Is that enough to save 34 seconds over the lap or after the total time of the race, right? Because that's what you're giving up. It's about 2 laps, about 34 seconds for a pit stop.
Here is JBH on the underside of Murphy. JBH, move him up to 7th spot. Murph out there still on old tires. See the first car with new tires is Logan. Now Ike. But now we see currently on pit road VDS coming off of pit road.
I want to give a call to Lucas Lodato. He's been reeling in Kevin Burrell here in the leading IAR car. Even though he's only up 1 spot, his times have been looking good. So shout-outs to Lucas in the 12th car.
So now this field it's like a well shuffled deck right now because we got cars all over the place. More cars coming to pit road. Let's try to pick up as Craig Forsyth in 12th. Even though he is down 1 lap, he is the last of the cars not to pit yet. 1st through 12th have not pitted yet.
Forsyth's time has really fallen off a cliff here. He ran his first 20-second lap.
Yeah, he just got caught up massively by who's up behind him. Is it Masuda, I think it is. And he's running really wide.
Oh, Craig way up in the gray. And now he's like, that's it, I'm done. coming to
Yeah,
pit
it was a
road
good-
for Forsyth.
That was big to
Oh,
see.
careful,
Almost
careful.
washed up into Malechka.
Careful.
Holy smokes.
Oh. And there we see the Canadian coming down pit road. 4D Racewear, again, sponsor of our coverage of the IAS. Make sure to check out their made for sim racing, their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 4dracewear.com. Link is in the description. I want to thank them for continuing to support us and the community. Meanwhile, Robert Malechka is now your leader, getting around Pierre Pontier.
Bad news for Lodato. He hit just short of the 2-stop window. He's going to have to bank on a caution here sometime later in the race. He only made it to lap 80.
And we really expect any time now these leaders, to, once they get to that 83 mark, to start hitting pit road. Malechka, Bruteau, Burrell, Orman. Orman has now worked his way up to 4th, 19 spots. His teammate Craig right with him. Craig's been hovering right around the middle portion of the top 10 with the cycle through pit stops. Worked his way into the top 5 now, up 6 spots. Joseph Burton Harris on pit road.
Burrell's coming as well.
General said he's had enough. He's at lap 83 down pit road. Pit road speed very, very slow in comparison to what they're turning out there on the racetrack. 40 miles per hour on pit road. While in the meantime, they are turning laps in the 17-second, 18-second neighborhood on the racetrack. Oh, it just had to roll back a little bit. It missed his spot, Burrell. That's going to cost him some time. Malechka on pit road.
Orman follows, and Craig follows Orman. Murphy's the only car left on the track, so he's going to lead a lap here.
Murph going long in corn country here. And I hear the downshifts there. I think he's making his turn on the pit road. Caution, caution,
No!
caution.
Murph might not make it on gas.
All right, where are we at
He's
here?
got to-
What happened? I can't find what happened. We have numbers on pit road right now. Craig's on pit road. Roseborough's on pit road. Tyquilla is on pit road.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the 21 car, Pierre, and the 15 car on the backstretch on lap 82.
All right, let's get in here and take a look at...
Yes, Murphy's coming into pit road, and I think, yeah, I don't know if the pit's open or
Oh,
not.
it's Pereira and Vengel. So we're gonna watch this from the lap before.
Yeah, Pierre washes up the track, and Vengel comes down just slightly, like barely half a tire width. But I think Pierre assumed he would get all the way out to the wall. He didn't. He has no obligation to do so. But if Murphy can make it to the pit road here without running out of fuel, which it looks like
Oof.
he has,
Everybody had to scramble on that one. That happened in the right up front of a pack of cars. All right, let's go check out Murph. Is he done with his pit stop? Yes.
yes, he just finished service. We're going to have 3 cars naturally on the lead lap right now. It'll be Murphy, Malechka, and Orman. Everyone who went late. Maybe it's showing Craig also as a lap down, but he may be on the lead lap. Almost everyone who is just 1 lap down, all the way to Philip McCandless. Oh, he's pitting now, so never mind. But everyone up to Hayato Masuda on the running order, so up to 12th will wave and be back on the lead lap. So we should have 12 cars on the lead lap. Murph will have the freshest tires, but Malechka should inherit the lead here with Orman in second.
Put shower on pit road. So Murph, this is interesting. And the IndyCar gods giveth and the IndyCar's gods taketh away. Not necessarily in that order. If you may remember watching a previous IndyCar broadcast on the Open Series when they raced at Iowa on Monday, a Murph got caught on pit road when the caution came out. This time, and that put him down and kept him down at least a lap to the leaders for that entire race. This time, the luck's with him. The caution comes out just before he gets his car on the pit road, and he's able to keep it out and cycle to the lead, or among the leaders, after everything is shaken out with the field being resettled out after this caution. So the gods taketh and the gods then giveth.
Oh, actually, I need to correct myself. I believe Hayato Masuda is currently 1 lap down, about to go 2 laps down. He will wave back to being 1 lap down, whereas Ike will be the last car on the lead lap, I believe.
Malechka, I'm showing Murph as the leader right now.
Exactly, but he's the last car in line.
So Malechka will get a wave around, and then Matsuda, Orman, Forsyth, Hutchinson, Van de Sant, they will all get wave arounds.
Yeah, but they're not a lap down. They're just on the tail end of the lead lap. Whereas Masuda is 1 lap down. He will remain 1 lap down because he will be behind Malechka, etc.
Yep. So we will see.
He's not waving past the leader.
Right, and there goes Robert getting the instructions to wave around here. And Matsuda. Here's Jesper. That's Craig Forsyth. And then there's Wayne Hutchinson right behind him. Alex Van de Sant. Rashad Craig. Bruteau back to 6 now, your pole sitter. There he is. So a number of cars stuck behind the leader for the wave around. We're getting ready to go green, as now the field is under the command of Mark Murphy, and he has a ton of cars between himself and P2 Robert Malechka.
Yeah, this could be the break Murph needed. He may walk away with this race because he has clean air. Malechka does not.
Yeah, I was going to say Malechka's stuck in a bunch of
traffic. Malechka underneath Hubrick's there. He will get around Hubrick's. Next up for him is our broadcast partner, Justin Petschauer. Justin in 17th.
Now, here's a question for you, Kel. What do you do if you're Murphy and the back markers are trying to get by you? Do you just let him go and just try and tuck him behind and feel safe, or do you try and put up a fight and keep him behind as long as possible with knowing that Malechka, who's absolutely dynamite in this series, knowing he can possibly come through the field quickly?
The only car that can challenge Murph right now is McCandless, because he pit for fresh tires. Murphy has better tires than everyone behind him and a better set. If I were him, I would fight tooth and nail to keep the clean air and to keep as many cars between myself and Robert as possible. Robert's already 2 cars behind, so his aero wash is already mitigated.
Caution!
Oh, we've got a yellow.
Carson's out.
Oh, Matsuda.
Coming out.
Oh, and Burrell's in this. And so is Van de Sant.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's smoking the home straight, and that's Masuda just pressing the escape button to go back to the pits, and that looks like, but judging by the state of his car, his day is done.
And we'll take a look at
almost identical. But
go ahead. We'll keep talking here. We're watching Matsuda. I think it starts with him, and I think it starts in the
oversteer on the exit of turn 4.
Yeah,
starts to wipe out, and Van de Sant has nowhere to go.
Here he goes, up in that 3rd lane, up high. And the back end just comes around, and Alex he slows down. Alex's pace takes him right into it. Alex kind of jumps. Oh, and then we see Burrell loses it. Lodato goes into the side of Burrell. Burrell kind of lost it coming under. And you guys are going to have to talk about this, how the car becomes unstable when you're going through a corner sometimes and you come off the power. It
Yeah, you
lightens
saw
the
it happen to
backside up.
Catherine
Yeah.
Legg.
Yep.
It happened exactly just like that to Catherine Legg in practice, where as soon as the car starts to wash out and you lift, the car just spins worse than it had before. I think Lotado will be okay. He'll be able to get a new front wing. I believe that's the only damage he had, but Burrell towed. Matsuda has heavy damage, and I believe Van de Sant will be done as well.
Yeah, let's watch it from Burrell's point of view. And he just when you slow down on these cars and when you're in a corner, the back end it does. He's doing nothing wrong. The back end just gets light and loose, and he sees it happening, and he's off the power now. And the back end it does what it does.
And it does that because the car is not going fast. The faster this car goes, the more stable it is.
That is correct.
It makes so much downforce.
Right.
As soon as you lift, or if you're putting in too much slip angle in your steering, the car just loses control exponentially the further off the limit you are.
Yeah, today's race stats here. Of course, brought to you by 4D Racewear. 250 laps is 100% race length, just like the pros will do later tonight on NBC. It is 0.85 of a mile oval according to iRacing, although IndyCar measures it as 0.894 of a mile. Regardless, we're doing what the iRacing measures this track as 0.85. Which is 212.5 race miles. The pit road speed limit is 40. There are no tire limits here in the IIS. Wednesday's session had 4 splits with a top split of a 44.06. That race was won by King Robert. Then Friday had 3 splits with the top split there on Friday's race, having a 36.46, also run by King Robert. So Robert's looking for the triple, and he currently is sitting in second spot, a couple cars back from our leader, Mark Murphy. The Saturday split that we're watching right now we had 4 splits today with this top split at a 41.70. IndyCar track record set here back in 2014. Helio Castroneves with a time of 17.2283 seconds for a speed of 186.809 miles per hour. They were practicing pretty close to that yesterday when they were running on the new pavement. The nice thing about the new pavement, and we kind of talked about this today with that slide that very similar to what happened to Catherine Legg on Friday's practice, is that upper groove is extremely slippery for these real cars. But the low groove apparently has so much grip and is so smooth that they are back flirting with the track record. Scotty Mack turned a practice lap of 17.3 for a speed of 185.8. So that gets him within a tenth of Castroneves and a mile an hour from his track record. Will we find out that track record will fall? Well, we will find out here shortly in about an hour and 40 minutes actually from now. IndyCar qualifying will be on Peacock. No spoilers in the chat. I'm going to ban you if you put any spoilers in the chat, but we'll see if there's a new track record set today at 3:30. Your undisputed king of corn is Joseph Newgarden, winning 6 out of the last 10 races here in Newton, Iowa. Green flag back underway at lap 100 of 250. Thanks for joining us. Mark Murphy is your leader.
Yeah, Mark Murphy's best friends right now are Philip McCandless and Talon Drake. They're the cars between him and Malechka. If they can put out a big, heavy wake of air to stop his advance and maybe burn up his tire.
Or maybe Jesper Orman start fighting with Malechka. Orman is the teammate of Murph.
Found himself in an IAR sandwich. They may have lost Burrell, but they're running first and third. 2 steps to the podium.
And fourth.
Craig in fourth.
Yep, Rashad Craig's in fourth.
Yeah, Murph is really legging it out here. This is exactly what I would be doing. Just build a little bit of a gap between the lappers and yourself so you're not under any pressure, especially since...
Oh, and here's Orman looking low on Robert. Lechka and Orman side by side down the backstretch. So you see track temperature 115. And Orman clear. Move the IAR car up to P2, excuse me. IAR cars in P1 and P2. Malechka back to third. Craig fourth. Rosenborough fifth. Bertot sixth. JBH seventh. Andreas Eich eighth. Lodato ninth. And Quilla in 10th.
I'm going to be writing a thank you card to the IAR team. They're going to make this exciting for everyone watching. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you get a treat here as we approach halfway.
Now, here's a question for the two teammates in P1 and P2. Do you apply team orders, or do you just let the drivers race it out if they get close to each other?
I would say if it's just me at this point in the race, I'd team order it and try to get these two to go as fast and as far as they can away from their chief competition, which is going to be Robert Malechka. And then as they get into the later stages of the race, into that final stint or whatever, then it's, all bets are off, gloves are off, let's slug it out for a win. Just be mindful not to wreck each other.
I agree with you on every point, Gary, except for going fast right now. If I'm Jesper Orman, I slow Malechka down. I run slower laps and make him pass me or slow down so that way Craig can pass him too. That way you have 3 IAR cars ahead of Malechka.
And then we have Associated IAR car in 5th with a geodesic entry. They've been working with IAR. A lot of these teams have now been pairing with one another in preparation for the Pro Series. Car on pit road.
That's Pierre. He was permanently damaged. His suspension is all
I think he's just trying to make some laps here to make up a few positions.
Yeah, one more lap and he catches Van de Sant, so I believe that's his goal.
Yeah, back up at the front. Mark Murphy's pretty much pulled out not a massive gap, but
about 2 seconds. 2 seconds over Orman. Yeah, I mean that might as well be 2 laps at this place.
Yeah, and Mark Murphy, I think he started. I can't remember where he started. Let me check. He started. If my mouse will work,
he's
started
up
in 7. So
yeah, he's up 6 spots.
He's been he's had a quiet maybe first half of the race, and he's just been going about his business while everyone else is maybe struggling with tyres or having incidents. And he also at coursing as well definitely helped. So yeah, good job so far by Murphy, and his teammate just about 2.5 seconds behind him in second. So yeah, good job by the two teammates, and I think Murphy as well is not pushing, but he's just trying to keep that gap and maintain the gap in case of there is another caution. I have a sneaky feeling there will be at some point.
My driver vision right now is showing me that everyone has calmed down a little. There's no side-by-side racing on the racetrack right now. Everyone's just trying to log laps here, I think, because the strategy has changed. Because instead of having to save fuel, I believe it is a full push run now for every driver in the field.
So JBH right in front of Ike there, kissing the turn 4 wall possibly.
Orman has cleared himself of the lap traffic. He's now gotten by Colt McCandless. So now we can see if he can work into Murphy's lead at all. He has pretty much clean air. After about 2 seconds, the draft envelope disappears, and there's no wash. So I'd expect, yeah, it's already dropped 0.2 seconds down to 1.9.
As things are settling down, as mentioned, the career wins leader here is Joseph Newgarden. He has 6 out of the last 10 wins here have been from him. The last 2, as a matter of fact, are from him. In fact, the last 4 should have been from him. He spun out leading in the second race 2 years ago, and Pato won that race. That was Pato's last win before getting the win awarded to him at St. Pete. Yeah, this is the house of Joseph Newgarden, so I'm not sure how he will do today with the new pavement, but we shall see. Ironically, the one that has not done well here, has not won here, and most people don't believe this, is Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon has never won at Iowa. So maybe we see that change today, too, when the IndyCar Series runs later tonight at 8 o'clock on NBC or on Peacock if you choose to watch it there.
Yeah, getting those laps last week at Mid-Ohio when it seemed like he would get 0 after stalling on the initial start because his hybrid unit failed. Makes me think that Scotty D is looking to write his name in the history books as being the first hybrid oval winner. You know, you've been along in the sport for so long, you want to try to mark as much history as you can. These kind of premier or inaugural events with certain chassis, engines, etc., really kind of set the tone for the next era of IndyCar.
And of course, he's on the march to AJ's record. So any win gets him closer to Supertex and the all-time wins leader.
Guys, Orman is coming. He's got it down to 1.4
Yeah, I was
seconds.
about to say that gap came down. It's coming down. It's definitely coming down lap by lap.
I don't know if Murph is saving or Jesper's pushing, but one way or the other, the gap is closing.
After Newgarden, Hunter Ray has 3 wins. That's how much he is dominated here at Iowa. And Franchitti and James Hinchcliffe each have 2 wins here.
Yeah, and talking about Scott Dixon as well, do you think Scott Dixon will retire from IndyCar, if not at the end of this season, maybe at the end of next season? Or
No, he's far too young.
I was about to say, do you think he won't retire until he gets at least another championship or maybe another 500 one?
I think he will. I don't know if he has a definite of I'm going to win a 500, I'm going to retire, I'm going to win the championship, I'm going to retire, I'm going to win, win number 68. 67 is AJ's record. He gets to 68 and says, I'm done. I think he'll just retire if he's no longer competitive or not. And at his point, and he's been competitive every single season that he's been in IndyCar, just about. I mean, that he should be a 7-time or 8-time or even 9-time champion. The number of times he's finished second in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, if Dixon does retire at some point, I can see him maybe. I don't know if it would happen, but I think I could maybe see him still doing taking part in the Indy 500 or as well be doing some IMSA races because he's done several IMSA races in the past. And,
or
he's a regular endurance driver for the Ganassi team or Cadillac racing in IMSA, and he's always been quick whatever he puts his hands on.
Here's a battle between JBH and Ike back for 8th. 130 of 250 in the books. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't appreciate the stats of Scott Dixon. It took me a while. I was not a big Scott Dixon fan until recently. And he's only in his early 40s. He has a long way to go. IndyCar drivers go well into their 40s, sometimes even into their 50s. Is that Pierre? Pierre is down there on the bottom, turning laps very slowly. I'm not sure that's allowed.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure that's maybe. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say against the iRacing.
I think it is actually against the sporting code.
But I would need to go and double check that.
Yeah, it's not in anyone's way. If he were to be on the racing surface at all, which he's not, I think it'd be a problem. I don't think it's worth a protest personally. He's not hurting anyone.
Let's see how his car's tracking.
Now, if he stays down there during a cycle of green flag pit stops, that could get messy. That would definitely be worth a protest, in my opinion. If he kind of gets the sense that people start pitting, he just chills on pit road for a while or totally pulls out of their way. That would be probably the best course of action for him.
Yeah,
He's running a lap. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wonder if he was checking for any damage. He's coming through again at high speed, so yeah.
No,
I'm
he's
not a
been
fan of
running
that.
below the apron, below the yellow line every lap. He runs 1 lap every time Murphy runs 2, so you'll see him in the picture frame a lot.
Oh dear.
I've been told that's against the sporting code to do that, but we
You gotta get DJ EJ. He's read the sporting code so many times. You would know.
riding on with this is Mark Murphy down
Are
the
you
4th
watching
gear.
his rear cam, Gary? Because you can watch that blue.
We
and
could do
gold car
that.
from Sweden, inch closer and closer. It's down to 7 or 3/4 of a second. It started at 2.1, so he's take that lead. He's cut it in a third. I guess he took 2/3 out of it.
Orman's definitely closing the gap now, and yeah, I thought he would have closed down a lot quicker. But I wonder if both of them are maybe on Discord or TeamSpeak or anything like that and communicating.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
They're on the IAR channel. They're
Yeah, if I go to my Discord and I scroll down to the IAR Discord, yep, there they are. they're all on their channel, so we know they're talking. And now he's got it within 6/10. I think Kevin's still in there, so he might actually be spotting for him. I don't know.
I have a sneaking suspicion Murph is really sharp, especially on ovals. I think as soon as he got clear of those lappers, he's been running at 85 to 90% push, just because that allows you to go 2 to 3/10 faster at the end of the run. And that's really what's going to matter here, because the longer you can stay on these tires, allow you to have the tire advantage at the end of the race. Because he's already got the track position, he's got the time over Malechka, who I think should be his #1 target. Like, if Jesper gets by you and wins, great, it's great for the team. But I think this is Mark's race to lose if he runs it smartly, which it looks like he's doing.
Mark looking for a little redemption this week. Like I said, the issue that came to pit road on the Monday's top split of the Open Series, it goes caution. As soon as he hit pit road, goes down and gets stuck at a lap down. Actually, he said he went 2 laps down, got one of them back. Said the car was awesome all night long. He was stuck a lap down. And then on Wednesday night in Tuesday in the IndyCar Oval Series, he did 60 lap stint at Atlanta, if I could say it, blah 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 blah, and almost got a podium. Then the car sputtered coming out of turn 4, and he ended up losing the podium.
Going into turn 1 on the last lap. Trust me, Gary, I know. I stole that podium from him.
But he had a monster final stint there in the Oval Series at Atlanta, 60 laps, and sputters there on the final lap.
If you go back and watch the broadcast, you'll see him breeze by me after we had pit for fuel at the beginning of that run, and I was just chilling, saving gas. If he had done the same thing, he would have made it easily, but his eyes were bigger than his dinner plate.
Murph now encountering Justin Petshower. That's going to allow Orman to catch up.
I hear the Jaws music playing. Do you guys hear it? I don't want to say anymore. I don't want to copyright infringe myself. And Murph getting around Justin. There we go. We'll hop into Justin. Justin allows Orman around him. So now in front of Murph, as we are sticking with the in-cars, that is Ty Quilla. That is one of your teammates. I would love to see a caution right about now to keep him 1 lap down.
9 cars on the lead lap. Andreas Eich is in that 9th spot. Logan Edwards 10th. He's the first car 1 lap down. And there is a car hitting pit road. Not sure who that was. Might have been Pierre again. And now, as we were watching the in-car for so long, here's Orman. He's there. As he clears Ty Quilla, yeah. And we are not that far away from the next pit stops. We are only 64, 65 laps into this current stint for a lot of these drivers. So they are about another 15 laps or so, 20 laps or so in some cases, of hitting pit road.
Yeah, I would say that most of these drivers are going to look to get to 175. From there, you do easy 75-lap run to the end. You don't have to fuel save, but tire saving is probably preferred. The caution came out at just the right spot, or at least the second one with Masuda, where if anyone pit under that yellow, it was not a question of fuel saving whatsoever.
The leaders all together now. A little bit in front of them. Craig Forsyth in a battle there with, he's got Hubrex and Logan Edwards. This is all for, at least Edwards and Hubrex, this is for position, not for Forsyth. Forsyth, this is just for track position. Forsyth is among those that are 2 laps down. In the 2-lap down group. Hubrex and Edwards. Edwards is in 10th. Is that Edwards? Yeah, Edwards is in 10th. And Forsyth's getting Forsyth's getting around Hubrex. Hubrex is back down in 16th. And now he's in front of the leader.
Orman ate that up. Here he comes. Orman's got to run on the outside, following Hubrex. Let's see what he does into turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to go around outside.
Yeah, but here comes Robert, and you know what? I'm pretty sure Orman saw that coming and wanted to shut the door, and he did, but man, he made it close.
Yeah,
3 wide.
Malechka just came from nowhere.
And then Malechka, the big run, and now he's going to take a look underneath our leader, Murph, in the 1. And he passes him and clears him. And, well, Murph's not done yet.
Yeah, I was going to say Murph tried to do a bit of a switchback.
Oh!
Oh, he got a bit of a wiggle on the exit there. That was close to... Yeah, that was a good save.
So now Murph, our leader, is back to 3rd. Orman is still in 2nd, but tracking down Malechka. Malechka putting, let's see, that's Forsyth another lap down.
Orman splits the traffic. What a disastrous 3 laps there for Team IAR. Just catching lappers in the worst possible spot.
Yeah, I wonder if Murphy's tyres are starting to drop off.
Probably. I'm sure everyone's tires are.
And this is a question for Kyle as well. What do you do when you've been in the league for so long, and then basically 2 cars they pretty much go by you and you start dropping back? What does it do to you mentally, or is it just one of those things that you've just got to discipline yourself and just tell yourself not to do anything silly or start over driving?
Yeah, my go-to phrase whenever something bad happens is don't compound the issue. You are only 2 seconds behind Rob. You've got 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds back to Craig behind you, who's also a teammate, so you know he'll catch you a break even if he does catch you. But you've got to play your strategy. Murph got into that position because he stayed out long on the first run and he caught a fortunate yellow. He might try to undercut this next run or go long again. Whichever he decides to do, you just don't get flustered, stick to the plan, keep running consistent, solid laps. Obviously, you may not have the pace to win, but you can have the strategy to win.
Smoke on the front stretch. Somebody had an issue. Watching Robert Malechka has now led 43 of the 165 laps we've turned here. Or down low, coming to pit road. That is
Roseborough.
That's Roseborough, and he is the smoke because he has a broken nose and a right front that is no longer attached.
Yeah, he lost it right in front of Philip McCandless coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch.
So that is going to have championship implications. And when I say championship implications, we do have a moment here just briefly to show you the IIS points. We'll bring those in right now. We see Malechka in 16th spot in the points, but your leader right now. But Burrell, your leader, he is out today. Kraus is not in the lineup. Vanessent is in 3rd place in the standings. He is out. Weiser is 4th. Bottenfuhrer is 5th. And JB is not in today's lineup. Matsuda is out today. He is 6th. Roseboro is 7th. He is out today. So he's already punched out. He is done. Hilgard not in the lineup today. Sticks not in the lineup today. Marquez not in the lineup. Sanders not in the lineup. Boutreau still is. Boutreau is in 5th, and he's probably looking to gain the most out of all this. Craig is also in the lineup. He is 13th. And, of course, Malechka is your leader. He's in 16th. So a lot of the key leaders in the points for the IIS either not in the lineup or having problems today. And here comes Brito to pit road for a scheduled stop. Coming a little early.
It may be a little early, but you can make it from here. It is a tiny, tiny save. I mean, not a tiny save. It's the same thing you had to do before, the 84 laps. Brito hasn't shown that he's been able to do that, but now he might change his mindset because he knows he has to do it. He won't get bailed out by a caution in the middle of the cycle. It won't benefit him at this point.
Robert Malechka staying out. I think the tide has turned unless there's somebody that can do something on this next pit stop.
Orman is pitting this lap. He's going for the undercut.
Oh, and he misses pit road, and that's it. Oh, and he spins it. Oh. And that's
Yeah, the stewards would have a word with you in real life if that were to have happened. This is sim racing. You can get away with a little bit more.
Yeah, that's demolishing to the effort right there. That's, in effect, a chance for the win is out the window for the most part there. Murph on pit road.
Yeah. And Malechka responds to the call. He's pitting this lap. I don't know if he knows that Orman spun, but
he might if he has his teammates that if Alex hasn't punched out and is helping him watch the race, Alex might have told him that. So here comes Malechka trying to get down slow. He does on the pit road. A very treacherous approach to pit road here at this track. Very treacherous.
Aquila missed pits.
We'll ride with Robert down to his stall in that new paint job with the partnership between private label Team Hype and Power Slide. I think the team nickname is Power Hype or Hyper Slide. Hyper Slide, that's it. And he's down and away, and that's his final stop at lap 177.
Harris and Lodato are in this lap.
Harris picked up the lead. JBH now on pit road. Lodato coming in behind him. Andreas Ike behind them. And that's just going to cycle Robert Malechka to the top. And I'd say at this point, unless there's a caution, a late caution, this is really Robert's race to lose now at this point.
Honestly, I think the worst case scenario for Rob would be a caution in something like 15 to 20 laps, where if he pits, no one else will, and if he doesn't pit, everyone else will. Where it's a split decision where you do what the leader doesn't, and the tire advantage would be marginal but effective. Oh, Jesper is hoping that his mistake was not shown on stream. Unfortunately for him, it was.
He said that on the radio?
Yeah, he came over all chat and was like, man, I really hope I was not on podcast.
And in chat, someone says, love the overlays. And that is a Brito in the wall. And he takes out another car. Oh, man. Jesper almost in that one as well. Got to find
It's the
Bruteau,
same
find out
thing
what
that to
happened.
Masuda. Just lost it in the middle of the corner, and then the oversteer only gets worse as you slow down.
Here's a question with this caution. Do you dive into the pits and top up and try and go to the finish from here, or is that not possible?
I think some people will, and I think new tires are going to matter.
Malechka will not pit. His wear is
Watch it.
so
Here it is.
good that it doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
can't risk it.
man, that's just kind of like what Scotty Mack did yesterday, except he didn't hit the wall. Now and then he takes out, who'd he hit? That's the 22? Dryling? Oh, Dryling takes out Craig Forsyth. No, takes out Justin Petschauer.
He almost took out Rashad Craig under caution here. All the IAR cars came in for fresh rubber.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
Did he? You said he almost took out
Rashad Craig.
Let's see what happens here.
And this is pitting under yellow. Like, the pits were open and he just drove by with a broken car, and Craig was trying to pit, minding his own business, almost got sideswiped.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that car is really, really damaged. I know what he's trying to do, but at some point, what you don't want to do is be that guy that impacts somebody else's race just so you can stay out and try to get another couple of laps credit. And he's back in pit road. Unfortunately, his day is done. But this late caution, we were talking about 182. Malechka is your leader. Anyways, getting ready to say from chat, they say they love the overlay. Appreciate that. The one problem with this overlay is it looks nice, but it is a resource hog, and it requires us to restart it every now and then. And I got to send that back to the developer. It shouldn't need to be restarted this many times, but every now and then it needs to be restarted because it really starts bogging down, and we use ATVO here. Starts bogging down ATVO performance, but that's about the only. But I appreciate you noticing it, and thanks a lot. We worked hard getting that made in the style of a certain network. Anyways, pick it back up here.
Yeah, Ike will be the first car one lap down behind Malechka. I think his tires are older, but his pace is good. Unfortunately, all of the lappers stayed out trying to get the wave or put themselves in a position to wave. I think the IAR cars have too large of a deficit to make up with these fresh tires. They've got half a dozen, looks like, 6 cars between them and Malechka. If the 16, 15 lap tires really make a difference, it won't really turn its head till the end of the race, where Malechka was much better than them anyway. I mean, you gotta do what the leader doesn't, but it just feels like it feels so bad.
And the sun has kind of gone behind some clouds. It's got a little overcast at the moment. It's partly cloudy. Ambient temperature is 80 degrees. Track temp has gone down to 105. And the wind gusts that you were experiencing in your the race that you were racing here, Clindy, not right now. Wind gusts are very slow at 1 mile per hour. That will change.
I'm registering 9 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour.
Maybe my weather app isn't pulling from the right location.
Well, and that's the thing, is that the crosswind is way worse. Out of turn 4, it pushes you up the track. I think that's why we've seen people lose the car there by themselves. But the track is cooling down. It's down to 104 degrees. I think we started about 116. Going green this time.
Green, green, green.
And we're watching right now. Ike on the high side of Drake, but allowing Malechka to kind of pull away. The Australian torpedo, Joseph Burton Harris, up 10 spots in P2. Lodato in P3. Mark Murphy looking to get around Lodato. He is now in 4th. Orman in 5th. Craig in 6th. All the IAR guys, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And they are the last of what is on the lead lap. So
they're all on fresh rubber.
JBH has worked his way into a strategy to get himself in the second. Can he run down Robert Malechka?
Yeah, and I think if Burton Harris gets a run on Malechka, or if he gets close enough, I don't think he'll hesitate in doing a send. That's for sure, judging by his reputation.
Ike is sticking with Malechka.
Yeah. Let's get on that battle right there. Or just it's not
cooler
really a
track
battle.
time.
Yeah. It's not really a battle on the
yeah.
racetrack. It's a good battle between two high quality drivers for track position.
It's everything for Ike. If he gets around Malechka, he can do it again, right?
And I think in the grand scheme of how these teams have reorganized, and I'll give Ike credit, I don't think I've ever seen him drive a car in another livery. I've always seen him drive this car, which I like how that livery is. This livery is a slick livery for Ike. But I think he is now part of the Hyperslide organization now. At least he is in the IndyCar community Discord. He's in that group. So I don't know if that means he's part of the team or what. But Andreas Ike there currently is in 7th spot. Only car 1 lap down.
Orman just dispatched Murphy. He's put himself as the first IAR car up to 4th. Lodato right in front of him. JBH. Jeez Louise. Fire me, Gary. In 2nd, and RM3 up front. Now the timing is right that Malechka will catch lappers if this goes green before the end of the race. If any of them are racing for position with one another, they may make his life difficult. That would be probably what Joseph Burton Harris, Lucas Lodato, and Jesper Orman would love to see. Is if you have a couple of people racing, those 2 or 3 lap down cars like Talon Drake, Taikila, and Craig Forsyth all find each other and are swapping positions. Elbows out, right in front of Malechka.
Elbows out, yep, for sure.
Orman has caught Lodato.
All right, we'll get on that battle right now. There they are.
I think we're going to see a Swedish scent here into turn 1.
Down low.
Yeah, I was going to say wait for it. But yeah, Jesper's definitely not wasting any time now, and I think it's just the case before he gets by. He's got to run down across the start-finish line, and I wonder if he's trying to take the high line to try and set up that run on the exit. And again, he's definitely got to run this time around. But just you can't do anything.
You can't pass someone by following them. You have to run a different lane.
it's
These
got
are
one.
not.
Oh.
He's got it here. He's gonna get it here.
Sorry, overlay issues now.
Oh no! Okay, so JBH up there was running the bottom. Was just enough wash to keep Jesper back. I think Jesper needs to commit to the high side and make it stick. It's not good for your tires, but you got to get around him.
Yeah, and this is the thing as well, is if you can try and hang it on, if you can try and hang it on the right side and carry that momentum, that you can definitely get a run in the exit. But he's trying to go around the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a. Oh, I thought that was going to end up in contact.
He's working. It's bringing Murph into the picture now.
Yeah,
jeez.
I was going to say Murphy's definitely closing these two down, and the more these two squabble, the more Murphy's get coming into the picture. As Murphy's on the not Murphy, Orman's on the inside, and he's got a run, but again, just can't get it done.
Their elbows are out, and so are their mics are hot. They are really lighting each other up here. Orman's got it. There it is.
He's going to say it. He's going to keep the car there on the quarter panel. If there is such a thing in these things, on that quarter, let's call it that pod, and he should have them cleared now. Yeah. So move Orman now to the bottom step of the podium. As we are now 43 to go.
Rob has checked out.
Yes, he has.
Any chance of...
Yep. He is your leader. JBH is second by about 2 seconds. Orman running down JBH now. Yeah.
Yeah, in just a few moments. Now, what Jesper has to hope for is that Robert catches lap tracker. That's fighting. That's the only way that this lead is going to get erased in 40 laps. Or a yellow, but, you know, I don't wish that on anyone.
Orman's on the back of Joseph Harris now, and I wonder if JBH will try and make a fight of it, and pretty much try and keep Orman behind as long as possible. But the way Jesper's going at the moment, I think it's just a matter of time before JBH loses that position.
Well, so the issue for both of them is that Ike is in front of them running competitive times. So whichever lane Ike is in a huge disadvantage. And right now he's running the bottom, which is the preferred line. I think this pass will be substantially easier for Orman than Lodato, because look at that. Just look at how much speed JBH lost on the corner exit because he was trying to run the bottom behind Ike.
If you are enjoying P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing series on ERN, respect the stream. Please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future ERN iRacing broadcasts. And they have a lot of them, including our Tuesday night signature broadcast of the IndyCar Oval Series, which we will be at Legacy, Kentucky at 8:15 p.m. this Tuesday. Check us out. Clindy will be in the lineup. Looking for another podium, I'm sure. Side by side. Whoa!
There were millimeters between Orman's right front and Joseph Burton Harris's left rear. Millimeters.
Yeah, I was about to say, as soon as I saw them being basically close to making contact, I basically had to hold my breath.
And just a programming note, next week's race, which will be at Montreal, we have moved, JBH pulls down also the same time that Orman did to get around the lap traffic of Hutchinson there. But next week's race is only in 4 days' time. We will be bringing you the 9 p.m. Wednesday top split for the 9 p.m. session of the IAS next week for Montreal, and also the next race at Gateway. That is to prevent any conflicts that might be occurring within the community on that Saturday. So we'll be moving the IAS to Wednesday for 2 weeks, for 2 races, and the next 2. And then after that, the remainder of the season should be good to go for all Saturdays. So looking at Montreal week and Gateway week as the weeks we will be doing the 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday.
Malechka has caught a trio of lap traffic, but he's got a 4.5-second lead, while Burton Harris and Orman continue to duke it out. So I don't expect the running order to change except for second and third here.
I'll watch this, and today's coverage is brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their made-for-sim racing line of gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. Link is in the description.
Orman cannot get it done on the bottom. Ike took the clean air from him. No one has done anything wrong. Clean, hard racing. It's just, I've been in Jesper's shoes before where I feel like I have a faster car and better tires, and you just can't get around someone. You don't want to do anything dirty because you respect your community members, but you see, he just erases the deficit from every time he fails to make a pass almost instantly because he is faster.
And these are this is a battle between the 4th and 5th ranked driver in this race. And there he is, taking a look, getting a run down the front stretch, down in the 1. This point in the run, when they're 43 laps on these set of tires, that bottom lane is not going to get you the position unless JBH decides he wants to let Orman go. Orman with the crossover, got him to run at the start-finish line again, side by side, going to the 1. Orman tries to widen out the turn, down to the bottom, hitting that bump that goes over the turn 1 tunnel into the infield. Side by side in the 3. If he keeps it there, he might be able to clear. Oh, that was so close.
That was a 0x. That was a 0x, Gary.
That was pretty much take a moment to basically hope for the best.
That's a take a moment to, that's an oh crap moment, really.
Yeah, I think that's Jesper's warning to take it to the high side, buddy. You're not going to get it done on the bottom. Go run him on the right hand side.
Oh, I thought he almost let him have it with the left front wing element.
ABH is aero blocking now. What a battle. Ike's still not far enough ahead to eliminate the dirty air that he's producing. The bottom is nerfed. Laps winding down, only 20 to go. ABH got hit with the wash from Mike that time. Orman has a large run. Let's see what he does. Committed to the bottom, just like at Texas. Married to that bottom line. Let's see if he commits again.
Oh, he's all onside now. Or he's just about all onside, but again, JBH is on the outside.
Ike gets out of the way. Ike gets out of the way.
Ike may be out of the way, but Forsyth and others are just ahead. So it'll be a short reprieve here. Lechka now the better part of half a lap ahead.
Murphy looking at Lodato underneath.
First drawn side by side. Two teammates versus two teammates. What a battle here for, I guess it's second, third, fourth, and fifth?
Yeah, talking about the fourth and fifth, they're starting to close down on the JBH and the Jesper. So, yeah, and who's behind? It looks like Rashad Craig as well. So we could have a bit of a trend starting to form soon.
Yeah, if we forget that Robert's here, we have a great race for the rest of the top 5.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Oh, no, there it goes!
Oh!
Orman just slammed to the side of JBH coming out of turn 4.
I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point.
Now, I don't expect JBH to give in. My understanding to his reputation, he is a hard driver. So he is not going to give in on this one. And there he goes out on the high side. He gets the position back.
Every time Orman is there, Forsyth or Iker, another car in front, he's taking his preferred line.
Yeah, let's just say that JBH has got that, as they like to call it in the motorsport world, that Aussie grit.
And here comes Murph as my overlay decides it wants to blank out. There it goes. And here's Orman back here. And then we got Hubrex involved in this one side by side.
Orman's got to try and box him in.
Got 10 to go.
What a race.
Forsyth is racing Hubrex, so he doesn't really want to give up, but he has to now as he gets forced to the high side and put Orman now up to second.
JBH gave Forsyth the chrome horn. Or no, that was Pet Shower.
Is that Pet Shower?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. These all identical Forsyth cars. Well, I saw a Hubrex car because I know him now as the Lego space car, and I saw Forsyth with him. But actually, Pet Shower is in a race with Hubrex. They're both on the same lap there. They're both 5 laps down. Malechka, smooth sailing, 7 to go, all by himself. He doesn't have anyone in front of him for quite a ways, and doesn't have really anyone behind him for quite a ways. Harris is now third. But Orman...
He's catching Harris quickly. Murph's been dialing up the extreme high line and making it stick. He's not going to have many laps here. What, 5 to go?
Yeah, 5
to go.
Or just under 5 to go. So...
Murph's going to get a run on the high side down the backstretch. Going to take a look down low.
Yeah, he thought about sticking his nose in there.
And we got to get back up front because Robert Malechka very quickly coming to the white flag. In the one, Robert looking to go 3-4-3. And the IAS here this week at Iowa, smooth sailing down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4 in the middle lane, down to the bottom of the white and yellow line, coming off the corner, out to turn 4 wall, and going to victory lane one more time is King Robert, now King of Indianapolis and King of Corn Country, just like Joseph Newgarden. And there he is, another win here in the IIS for the Oval Expert. Orman finishes second. And JBH finishes third. And here are your results. 6 cars finish on the lead lap, but look at that battle back there from Burt and Harris, JBH, Murphy, Lodato, Craig, all within a second of one another for third spot, and they were all really, really closing on one another. Ike finishes 7th, 2 laps down, only car 2 laps down. McCandless is the leader of the 3-lap down crew. He and Edwards finished 8th and 9th, and Ty Quilla, your teammate, Clindy, very quietly works his way up to a P10, up 12 spots, and only 4 laps. So I would say an improvement.
Absolutely. I know that it's not probably what he wanted to put up, but, better than Wednesday and a top 10 in a strength of field this high. I would be very happy.
Here's the next 10. Forsyth is 11th, Drake 12th, Petshower is 13th, and he finishes 5 laps down on the same lap with him. And 14th is Hubrix Rob in the Lego Space Car, finishing in a top 15 spot there, 14th. Wayne Hutchison, I think he is the last car running, and he finished 15th, 7 laps down. 16th was our pole sitter Bertreau, who lost it off of corner 4. He unfortunately did not finish and was relegated to 16th. One of our points leaders, Brandon Rosenborough, he crashed. He is down to 17th, so that's going to have point implications for him. Dryling, 18th, Pierre, 19th, and Yarrow in 20th. Alex Vanasant caught up in an incident, same one along with Burrell and Matsuda. They finished 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and Vangel finishes in the last spot in our 24-car field. All right. So let's see. I can get this overlay just to be stable just for a moment. We can actually get into the interview room. And we probably have at least Jesper there. I don't know if JBH is going to be there or not. Probably Robert's going to be there.
Yeah, Rob and Jesper are both waiting.
All right.
See JBH.
All right. All right. And let's see who might be in the interview room as we go to, and there is Jesper. We'll bring him in. And there he is, joining us in the booth with Clindy and Ryan. It's Jesper. Jesper, man, the closing stages in that battle with JBH there at the end, you guys at one point were kind of leaving it everything out on the racetrack, including elbows and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but you get really, really frustrated when you're a race driver with other drivers around you. I was almost ready to, having contact with him and, having an unfortunate situation where I would go ahead and he would hit the wall. But I'm not that kind of driver, I hope. So, yeah, it was really, really frustrating being I mean, I put myself in a situation. Honestly, if we go back, I'm just lucky to be even in the race, even be P2, because I don't know if you saw what happened there when I was going to pit. I kind of missed the pit entry a little bit there. And after that, the last caution that came out, me and Mark decided to pit from P2 and P3, which turned out to be a mistake because we were stuck behind lap cars and stuck behind Lucas and Joseph. So ultimately, we didn't gain anything from it. And honestly, I wouldn't have be able to take it to Rob today. He's too fast here. He knows exactly when it's time to go and when it's time to back up. So P2 I gotta be happy with P2, especially after yesterday when I kind of clogged it up a little bit. I should have been P1 or P2 yesterday. It was P5. So I'm happy with P2 and decent result for the team with a P4 and a P5 there.
Okay, well, now we know you made your choice today because I told the guys earlier today that I contacted you, and you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to race or spend time with my girlfriend. So race is over. Probably the wise thing to do after all this, and you do your shout-outs and everything, is go spend time with your girlfriend.
That is for sure. That's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry here. So,
no problem. Any shout-outs? Any shout-outs you want to say hi, teammates, anything before we let you go?
Just a i5G. What am I smoking?
Wow. Okay.
Gang. Yeah, I better go.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Take care. Man, Jesper with the Biden-esque slip up of the microphone.
Hey man, we all make mistakes. Right?
I know, we all make mistakes. I know i5G to him is just they're bitter rivals. But anyways, best advice from a man that's been married more than 25 years. When your girlfriend wants you to spend time with her, go spend time with her. Jesper Orman finishing second, and we rush him off. We'll bring in Robert Molechka, and here is King Robert, king of Indianapolis, and now undisputed really king of corn here, other than Joseph Newgarden himself. What in the heck makes you so good here, man?
I think it's just how loose I can drive the car here. I mean, I don't think it's any secret that the looser you can be here, the more it saves the right front tire. So I am wrecking loose the first 20-25 laps of a run, just trying to hang on to it. And then my car, a light switch goes off, and I am close to half a second faster than anyone else. So
what has to happen in that first 25? Is that the tires coming up to temperature properly, equaling out, the fuel load burning off? I mean, what is all happening in that 25 laps that allows your car to behave then for the next 50?
Mainly just the tire pressure's coming up, and yeah, that's really it. Just so then the first 15-20 laps, the tire pressures are constantly going up and up. Once they kind of stabilize is when I can really start pushing and make the big gains that I do.
Now we look at kind of in the IIS championship, you're kind of muddled down in 16th. Not a lot of ovals, but there's a lot of ovals to close out this season. You think you got to run maybe to get into the top 10 here to close this season out with the ovals on the second half of the schedule?
Maybe. Honestly, I haven't really checked on it. Kind of just hanging out, having fun, really. The tracks that we haven't really got to run any long distance races in 2.5 years. So
that is very true, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if I end up, in a decent point spot, I do, but it's not a big deal if I don't. So, yeah.
3 for 3, planning on going 4 for 4, or going to take a rest to watch the IndyCar race tonight?
You gotta watch the IndyCar
race.
Yeah. To start, so
right.
Gotta put that on. First night race there in 5 years. So
yeah, for sure. And qualifications is now 20 minutes underway. And anybody that puts any spoilers in chats, you're getting getting banned. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go, sir?
Thank you to private label Team Hype and Power Slide. Mainly, Jason, Phil, and Adam. We were a lot on the setup because of I believe VCO going there, and I believe IndyCar Challenge is going there as well. So we knew we had to make a rocket ship, and we have one. So we're expecting big things the next few months, especially at the ovals with mainly with Iowa, right? Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, congratulations, sir. And we have one more that just popped in for an interview, but we will catch you probably at Legacy Kansas or Legacy Kentucky on Tuesday. So we'll see you then.
Likely, yep.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Move him in the waiting room. And joining us is JBH. JBH is Joseph Burton Harris. First time on the broadcast, finishing third today here at Iowa. Joseph, from Australia, how are your oval skills? They look pretty good. Is ovals kind of one of your strengths?
Well, it's first time on the broadcast, also first time on a short track. I've never raced on a short oval before in the IndyCar, so that was a baptism of fire. But yeah, no, that was that was really crazy. I literally said to Lucas, who's teammates with me on Nexus eSports, like, I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to follow whatever you do and then hope for the best, and somehow ended up in second after that final caution.
Well, that's what the question I was going to ask you is, how'd you get to second? We saw you coming up through the order. We saw you get into the top 10. And then when the we had a caution, incidents shakeout, we go to pit road, everything. And then all of a sudden, JBH, you're up there in P2 and you're fighting for a potential win. Now, when I say potential, we kind of knew everyone was in their own class with the exception of RM3. RM3 was in a class of his own, so everyone was kind of battling for best in class for P2. When did you find out? When did you finally come up with, like, hey man, I might have a shot at this if things work out for us?
Well, I pretty much just tried to save fuel the whole run for each run. I knew that I was still new to the game on this side of things. I just knew that if I saved fuel, saved tire, maybe I could stay out as long as possible for each run. And I mean, we had decent long run pace throughout the day. I managed to save my tires decent enough to the point where I could always stay sort of on the lead lap before we pitted. And we also Lucas made the call for us to like pit on I think it was the second last caution and top up on fuel, and that enabled us to just go that little bit longer, which kept us on the lead lap and ultimately got us back out in P2 and P3. So it was really good strategy calls from Lucas all day, which is something I wouldn't have known at all. So I'm glad I had him on my side today. But yeah, no, it was a really fun race, really, really good new way of running for us here at Nexus. We've never done much on the IndyCar side of things on oval, so yeah, definitely learning each race.
What do you think of these IndyCars at Iowa? 17-second laps. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like jet fighters. The comparison is jet fighters in a gymnasium.
Yeah, that checks out. That's quite. It is such a short lap, and it's such a unique track with how the green flag stops work. You've got to strategize to the point where you cannot afford to go 2 laps down. You can afford to go 1 lap down within reason, but if you go 2 down, then it's basically game over. So, but yeah, no, really fun day out. I definitely will be back for some more later on.
That's good. Good to see you. Good to have you here. First of all, participating. Good to see you in the on the broadcast and in the booth for the performance. And not a bad day for your teammate either. Top 5. So your team experiences 2 in the top 5, which is well, I mean, I don't know if you really consider your team in the same class side of the power teams of like Power Slide, team Private Label, Team Hype, I5G, or IAR. But I mean, other than IAR, you're the only other team to put 2 cars in the top 5. So that's going to be pretty good for the team as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our IndyCar program at Nexus is only 2 or 3 months old, so we're all very new. We had Will Weiser last week win 2 out of the 4 top split races on our road setup for that week, so it's definitely going much better than I thought it would. And this week I was just hoping to learn as much as possible, but yeah, to have 2 guys in the top 5 is it's a bit of a shock, really. I'm not quite sure how we've managed to pull that out.
Well, another super team on the rise, or at least the possible birth of a super team with JBH, Lucas Lodato, and Will Weiser. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
No, just Zach Hudson, the whole Nexus team. We're a pro team on the Coke side, so we're trying to build up this road program, and obviously the IndyCar coming back to iRacing. So big thanks to all the guys at Nexus, and on to the next one.
That's right. Thanks for giving IndyCar some love. We like to see the guys from the other disciplines come over here and give it a shot, because once they find out how fun these are to drive, and even for a fixed setup, how challenging they are, because you have access to the tools and the engine mapping and the weight jacker and everything. Still, they're fun to drive on the fixed setup side of things, but they are such a wonderful car to drive on the open set of things because of all the different changes you could possibly put into this car. I hope you guys hope to see more of you and your team here in the IndyCars, and give it some more love. We'd love seeing you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon.
All
Now,
right.
before you go, JBH, even though you and I have had our differences over the years, I'm putting my broadcaster hat on this one, and I'm just going to ask you this. Which one do you have more fun driving, the Gen 7 Cup car or the IR18 Indy car?
There's only
100%
one.
the IndyCar.
I'm about to say there's
Yeah,
only one
no,
correct
that-
answer there, Joseph. There's only one correct. You'll go down on the bad side of the team here if you say the other one.
yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, Nexus is a Coke team, so I'm a bit torn between two worlds right now. But personally, yeah, definitely the IndyCar. I've always been an open wheel fan. Coming from real life, I've always been in the open wheel genre. So I do love the NIS and the whole adventure you go on each race with that series. But now that we have the IndyCar racing series, we call it IIS here with our mates, it's now our own version of NIS that we're really enjoying so far.
Fifth season, it's still one of the best series around.
Yeah, and the
Hell
nice thing
yeah.
about IndyCar is there seems to be like two elite series now. You have the IIS, which really follows the NTT IndyCar schedule to the best of its ability, and then you have the Pro Series coming up when there's not DDoS attacks. Hopefully we'll see the next one for that one. But congratulations, JBH, Joseph Barrett-Harris. The Australian Torpedo is third today in the Iowa short track race, top split on Saturday. Congratulations, and we really hope to see you in the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
And there he is. Justin, talk about your race real quick. We kept confusing you. Once we knew you were going to be in the same split with Craig, I knew I would be confusing you two. And sure enough, we did. But there was a couple times that you had yourself in the front of the leaders and kind of no place to hide.
Yeah, when you're trying to basically work a fuel strategy, save tires as best you can, that first stop, the first stop, it didn't even matter trying to save tires. 23 and 22% on the right front tire.
Oof.
Yeah, butchered them. Basically, give that one tire away to a fan for free. Autograph.
Ryan.
Over the course of the run, it was just trying to basically getting amphibious with the line, running the low line, middle line, and then getting up to the high line. I still don't know how I managed to just pull this pass off on the last lap or so for 13th place. But I still had fun regardless. I love Iowa, especially in the IndyCar. It's a bull ring. Like you said, it's a fighter jet inside of a gymnasium. You're going so quick here, you almost get yourself a little bit dizzy. But that's the fun part about it.
Yeah, I can see getting dizzy here. I can see a little bit of vertigo setting in and stuff like that.
But as far as the possibility of running later tonight, no. Once was enough. I'm mentally drained. My hands, even though I didn't grip my wheel as hard enough, they're still hurting. And that's mainly because of the bumps, especially the tunnel bump going through 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
But that's what makes Iowa so fun. I'm curious to see when we get the full repave, how, like, in terms of the records we're going to be able to break, especially with the hybrid coming in. But that's going to be a year away from now, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to the next race, which is north of the border in the province of Quebec, in the city of Montréal, at Circuit Villeneuve. and then
I shouldn't say
a
surprise,
month or so.
He is impressive.
Okay, hear that?
It's really great
That's
for
qualifying
them.
going on Peacock right there. So let's get on out of here. Final thoughts, Ryan. Your thoughts here before we move on, and then after Ryan, when you're done, go ahead, Clinty, pick it up, and I'll go ahead and read us out after that. So go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race, and in the early stages of the race for the lead, and then basically once Maletska got into the lead, he's never going to be caught. But fantastic racing for the final positions on the podium, and pretty much further back in the field. And Iowa, it was probably for me the best race of the season so far in the series. And when it comes to oval races, it's probably one of those tracks that I always get great pleasure doing laps around, and it gives Indianapolis a run for his money. And just a shame that I'm not able to be around for the next couple of broadcasts. But yeah, I'll be around for the remainder of the season after that. But yeah, it was a good broadcast.
Yeah, we'll get you in there for Milwaukee and Nashville Super Speedway. Go ahead, Clinty.
Just absolute treat to watch today. We had a tough track, tough conditions, fierce competitors, and some very unforeseen events, shaking up, the finishing order and the players at the front, and some different strategies. We got a little bit of everything today. Couldn't ask for more. So happy to have myself here on the booth. So thanks for having me, Gary. And hopefully we see all of you next week at Canada.
All right, and I echo all that stuff, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. Get us on out of here so everyone can go, if they're not already watching qualifying, they can go watch it now, or at least turn us down if you haven't turned us down already, and turn up Lee Diffie in his final weekend calling IndyCar action. I know a lot of the younger fans are really disappointed to see him go, and he's been a great ambassador for the sport. And I'll be sad to see him go too, but Paul Page is still my guy. Paul Page. He gets the call. Hey everybody, this is Paul Page, and you're playing IndyCar Racing 1. I mean, come on, everyone remembers that stuff. Anyways, let's get on out of here. That's it for today. Once again, your podium from Iowa, Robert Molechka, as you see on the screen, led half the race. Gets the win, goes 3 for 3 so far on the weekend. We're probably not going to see him do the later one tonight because there's going to be an IndyCar race on. So if you're not into the IndyCar but you want to race IndyCar, you could probably get into that race and probably find yourself in a high split, because I think a lot of the key players are going to be taking that race off. Maybe you could get a good finish there in the IIS if you participate in the later race here tonight. But you can join, let's see, probably Antonio and maybe Clindy and myself for next week for round 12 the IndyCar iRacing series, as the drivers and teams head to Montreal and circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as Paul Page used to like to say, for a special 9 p.m. Wednesday broadcast. Okay, coverage, again, should begin approximately 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Again, that's 9:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, check the channel at youtube.com/Elite Racing League, or excuse me, at Elite Racing League, or check the official iRacing schedule for the correct time in your area. Remember, coverage of this race and every other race broadcasted for the IIS we do for the remainder of the season will be on ERN. Links to their channel and the Discord server are in the description. Hey, we love bringing these races to you. They're not easy, require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and have enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing series, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated, and we thank you for watching and make us part of your Saturdays and Wednesdays and Fridays during NTT IndyCar Race Week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 and ERN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below to let us know what you thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And if you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of ERN's other iRacing programming, including Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series, myself and Justin and Stevie Larkamp and the infamous LGN, and probably watching Robert Molechka and Clindy racing at Legacy, Kentucky at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, here on ERN for the IndyCar Oval Series official top split on Tuesday night. P1 and ERN's Saturday IndyCar iRacing Series Top Split coverage brought to you by 4D Racewear. We talked about them a lot. Check them out. They're made for sim racing. Line of gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 4dayraceware.com. Link is in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. Learn more about Whiplash. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. Or actually, they do now have an Instagram account. Links for Facebook and Twitter are in the description, and I'm sure from those you can find their Instagram account as well. So, for Ryan Walker, for Clindy, for Justin Petshower, for everyone here at P1 and ERN, I'm Gary Gatto saying all thanks for watching, and all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series tonight and tomorrow for the Iowa doubleheader. Tonight's action for the High V Home Front 250 starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. The High V One-Step 250 on Sunday starts at noon Eastern. Follow all the action on the Peacock app, on your local NBC affiliate, or best yet, join Mark Janes and the gang on IndyCar Radio on Sirius XM Channel 215 for all the action. Be sure to check your local listings for the correct broadcast times and station in your area. You can catch all of us again in just 4 days' time at Montreal for the next race of the IndyCar iRacing Series. We'll see ya.